Hello there, and welcome to another edition of Language Bites. I'm Cata, your host, for these couple of minutes. All right, let's get started and take a look at some of the contexts in which we may use these structure. I'm talking about negotiations, planning, and any form of communication that you may have with clients or within the company. The thing is, what we are going to see today are these very compact and concise pills, why not, of meaning. These are multi-word verbs. When we talk about multi-word verbs, this is a group of verbs where we find phrasal verbs, for example. I'm sure you're familiar with them, and other kinds of verbs. The thing is, these are words, verbs, that are followed by one or more particles. What do we mean by particles? Well, these can be prepositions or adverbs. Sometimes the meaning is different from this combination. The resulted meaning from the combination of a verb and a particle is different from those elements separated, and sometimes it's pretty similar. Why do I mean that these are concrete, concise items of meaning? Well, it is mastering them adds a layer of proficiency because they are very much present in more informal contexts. So it saves us time and words. We Spanish speaking people are very talkative, as you can see, and we end up saying many words when sometimes English has one word or a verb that encompasses that idea. So let's take a look at some multi-word verbs. Yes. So we've got they can carry on, for a while if you can carry on for a while if you make no profits, and they've run out of cash. In these instances, we can see clearly that the meaning of carry on is a different meaning than that of carry alone. And the same happens with run out of. The meaning is completely different than that of run in isolation. But sometimes they aren't that different. For example, high remuneration was paid out. Here, the meaning is that of pay. Now, we have several types of multi-word verbs. Let's see. For example, we've got intransitive verbs. That means they don't take an object, they don't have an object, they don't need it. The plane has just, taken off. My bad. Their business idea really took off in the third year, right? So the plane here is my subject. The plane didn't take off something. Not at all. Of course, if we have intransitive verbs, we may find, and in fact we will, find transitive ones. She set up her company. What did she set up? Her company. Can you pay us back? Who do you need to pay back? Well, us. In these cases, you take an object. You set up something, you pay back, or you pay someone back. At the end of the day, they are verbs, or really. Now, let's take a look at some more kinds of multi-word verbs. In this case, those who have two particles. I'm looking forward to getting a high return. How did they get away with it? So I find my verb, look, get, another particle, forward, away, in both cases, these are adverbs, and a preposition, to and with. All right, let's go on a bit more. Of course, we may find bank robber got away, or how did they get away with it? In the first case, that is an intransitive verb because I don't have an object. It's not that they got away something. But in the second one, it is transitive because they got away with, I'm adding another particle and an object. All right. Let's compare some more transitive versus intransitive. As in, are any t-shirts left? Sorry, we've just run out. I'm not saying the object. It is implied, I would say, by the context. And in the second case, I'm afraid we've run out of time. This one is transitive. In the examples from this slide and the previous one, the one with get away or get away with something, the meaning or the uses are very similar. The only difference we can spot is that the object has been left out. Now, we enter another characteristic of these verbs, which is whether they can be separated from the verb. I mean, the particles can be separated from the verb or not. For example, put by. We've put by some money, or we've put some money by. Perfect. She added up the figures. She added the figures up. Perfect. Both of these work. We can separate them and use them in either way. We can also say she added the figures, replace the figures by a pronoun and say she added them up. We can do this when we place it in the middle. What we cannot do is she added up them. If we go for the inseparable version, then I won't choose a pronoun. So when they are separable, when they admit this separation, we're going to find them with these double arrow in dictionaries. In the case of put by, you find it like this. Put something by. In this case, I've used the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, and just by looking at this, I know that this is a transitive verb because it has something, and the double arrows show me that they are separable. All right. Multi-word verbs and heavy objects. What does these mean? They've called it a strike off. The strike is my object, but it's not a heavy one. But if I say the strike that is planned for next week, that's a very heavy object. It has a clause in it. In this case, I cannot separate my verb from its particle because they would be two apart, and then it would be very difficult to trace the meaning and follow it. All right. So I can say we've run out of money, but not we've run money out of. This is not a verb that admits this separation. She splashed out on a new car. Great. But again, I cannot separate it and say she splashed a new car out on. You will notice how weird this sounds. So some have even three words, verbs, and they can be transitive and separable. As in, she puts her success, my object, down to luck and perseverance. Multinationals can play individual markets, that's my object, off against each other. I'll take you up on that. Another example. So, these structures make us sound more natural. They belong to informal speech. And of course, we may find them in formal applications. Why not? All right. So, as you know, practice makes perfect. So, as always, you will find two activities on the link in the description box. And since you're here and you've perhaps got some more minutes, why don't you take a look at another one of our videos? All right. Thanks for watching.